I couldn't get my mic to unmute. Hello, Canadian Glenn.
Buenos dias.
I'm also hearing double myself all of a sudden, but I fixed it, I think. I was trying to monitor through Spreaker, and for some reason that doesn't want me to do that. Anyway, technical problems. Hopefully they'll be over. I'm hoping that next week we'll try it on the Twitter podcast. What is that thing called?
Spaces.
Twitter Spaces. Hopefully we'll try it over there by next week. But I want to wait till late night when nobody's around and try to do a test, like we were just talking about before the show. Before we jump to a new platform. And then I could stop paying for Spreaker's shitty service. Anyway, we're live, so we should talk about other things.
Besides how much Spreaker sucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an old subject.
So yeah, to all the billions of people listening, we might be on Twitter next week. If it works out, I'm going to do a test, and if it works out, it'll be on the People's Radio Twitter. So if you don't follow that account, follow at People's Radio, but instead of the O, it's a 0. So People's Radio with a 0 at the end instead of a O. And then you'll be able to hear the show. Hopefully, if it works. So yeah, what were we just talking about before the show? That Trudeau is in the UK chilling with the Queen. She barely got over coronavirus, and now he's all up in her face.
Yeah, well, he had Omicron not all that long ago either.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, still, these people can take a rapid test every hour if they want to. It's not like they have any problem getting any test or seeing a doctor or anything else for that matter. So I think the people that are trying to say, oh yeah, there's one of these mask fascists wants everybody to wear a mask. Well, look at him. It's not exactly comparable.
Yeah. I mean, the Queen, who cares? What does she do? It's like what's the purpose?
She's the largest landlord in the world.
And that's a good thing?
No, but that's one claim she can make.
Yeah. Oh, God save the Queen. She ain't no human being. So, yeah, you know what I seen on the news? I heard it on the news, on the radio. They're talking to some of these Republican people here in the United States, Republicans. They were talking about they're worried about the high gas prices because of Joe Biden, and one lady said she's going to have to make tough decisions between food and gas and rent, and she's extremely worried about going homeless. And I told people a long time ago, even before the coronavirus, we both did, that people are like a step away from homelessness, a lot of people. And they should worry about the people that's out there. But I guarantee you some of these same people that interviewed for this piece are the same people that would vote for Joe Busciano or whatever his name is. You know, the people that want to just eradicate these people and sick the police on them and be brutal, force them out to other places. You got to treat these people like they're you. You know, because you don't know if somebody ends up out there, like anybody, any person, the most regular ass person there is, and they're out there long enough and nothing's working out, mental illness comes, and then what are you going to do to try to numb yourself from the mental illness? I mean, because a lot of these people, they're just drug addicts. They just want to do this. They're just doing that, you know? So maybe if we solve the problem now, before it's too late, then some of these people that are scared of becoming homeless won't become homeless, and the people who are homeless will be housed. It's just ridiculous, man. I don't even know how this is a problem.
Because that's the way the system is made. I mean,
and they're building luxury apartments all over the place. 3,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month in some areas like Westwood and all that. It's crazy, man. You could just build places and let people stay there. And the government can subsidize. We pay taxes for what? Take some off the police budget. Oh, we need to talk about that in a minute too. But yeah, it's terrible, man. People are scared of becoming houseless. At the same time, they're demonizing and attacking houseless people.
Well,
that's not going to help your situation.
No, but that's the entire fear of the other mentality that has been honed for decades now. I mean, that is exactly how they've hidden the class war that's been going on for quite a while now. It's, you know, we're gonna make this imaginary line, and that's the line you're going to claw and scratch to stay on the right side of, because despite the reality that it could only be that one additional unexpected event to make you cross that line, that's not important. The only thing that's really important is once you go on the other side of that line, you're garbage. And that's how they've managed to keep the dog-eat-dog bullshit profligating without any threat of any other system, you know?
It's just ridiculous, man. There's so many people out here living in tents, living in boxes, living under awnings of buildings. And it's brutal, and these people are just heartless.
Yep.
No, don't get me wrong. There's some really, really good people. I was in a drive-through, and this dude in front of me slammed on his brakes, and I didn't know what he was doing. And then he backed his car up, and then he was ordering at the window again. And I'm like, what does he want? Another coffee? And he got like a coffee and some donut or whatever they had there. And then he drove off. But then I looked, he dropped off his first meal he ordered with the houseless dude that was standing on the corner right there, and gave it to him, and then backed up and ordered something again for himself.
Oh.
See, there's people like that out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be like, you know, the norm. If you have extra, give it to somebody who needs it. But
in these circumstances, of course.
I'll see cars pulling up and people coming out with boxes of meals and just handing people food. You know, like stuff just from a restaurant or that they cooked at home. You know, like 20, 30 things to everybody. Or handing out clothes and stuff. I see it every so often at different encampments, but it's not the norm. It's not happening all the time, every day. Like the whole community isn't behind it, and it should be. We should demand housing and be out there. Like, I mean, I have to work and do stuff, you know what I mean? But when I'm not, I'm out there trying to help people, filming police and giving what I can. Trying to see what I can do, at least knowing what's going on. And, you know, I'm antisocial, but I still know people, and I be like, what's up? And I'm not the most talkative, but I think a lot of people know They do know, like, if they need something, come talk to me, or something's going on, come talk to me. Because they already used to talking to me about what the police is doing out there. So it's like, oh, you know, someone who can, you know, hook me up with a sleeping bag, or I need a jacket, or I need some money or some shoes or something. If I can buy it, I'll buy it, or call some people I know that might have what they need. Imagine if everybody was just out doing that when they can.
Yeah, but this is the genius of the ridiculous system we have. I mean, there's more than enough, especially here in North America, in the first world. There's no question. There's far more than enough that nobody has to be living like this. But it's almost like if we actually did the human thing, it will remove some huge game from society. And it would remove so many motivations to get people to live the way they live. You know what I mean? It's if there was enough social willpower to give everybody an actual, discernible, minimum level of existence, it would change. It would change so many things about the way this world runs, and I think that's why we're not seeing it, because the people who benefit have far too much control.
Yeah, like Tupac said, they got money for war but can't feed the poor.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. I mean, that's how it's always been. But literally right now, they beating the war drums, especially these Democrats. Boom, 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 boom. Spend more money on Ukraine. Well, all at the same time, Biden wants to now put more funding into the military and the police. These stupid Democrats was out here talking about Trump spent almost $800 billion or whatever he spent on the military. It's obscene. Now Biden's adding to it.
Same thing.
Like cheering it on. Then they're like, oh, defund the police. I was saying abolish the police. I was never with defund the police. If that's all I could get, I would take it. But abolish is where I want to end up. And now they're like, yes, fund the police. It's literally just a red or blue gang. Whatever their rulers say, that's what they're going to jump behind, even if it's the same thing they hated the year before. And the Republicans are exactly the same. They're no different.
Well, that's just it. I mean, anybody who really wants to see it, it's very plain to see. The only thing, it's so blatantly, what have you done for me lately, for the benefit of the same old.
People can't get stimulus checks or their unemployment extended or anything like that.
Nope.
Biden's like, get back to work.
Yeah, but you know,
over 957,000 people are dead from the virus. And he's like, let's end remote work. People are still dying like all over the place. Let's end all mask mandates. It's over, people.
Well, it's already been said in Canada that the true motivation for all this no more work from home thing, this is the real estate industry turning the screws. That's what this is all about. Because this is over 2 years now. They've had billions of dollars in leases expire. They have all this empty space. A lot of it is leveraged. These companies are losing a lot of money holding this real estate with no paying lessers in them. And it's not like they don't have the money. They don't want to be paying it. So, you know, that's all this is about, forcing everybody back to work. It's about real estate. And real estate is one of the basis commodities, quote unquote, of every modern economy. And it's all speculative and inflated as fuck. So, true to form.
How are the Canadian gas prices?
Very high. I mean, where I live is always the lowest price gasoline for a major city in the whole country. And today it is up to $1.69 per liter. So times that by 3.8, and that's how much a U.S. gallon is.
Wow.
So
yeah, we just hit $5.19 at my cheap gas station. It was $4.99 yesterday even.
So you guys are still paying more than we are.
2 days ago or 3 days ago it was $4.99. Then it went up to $5 something, $5.04 or something. Now it's $5.19 or $5.40. I don't know. It's a lot though. It's ridiculous.
Okay, well, just hang on here. 518 divided by 3.8 is $1.36 US per liter. So times, that's $1.66 Canadian a liter. So that's pretty much exactly what we're paying now. And there's no reason for it.
So that's just going to say it's all a scam. These people are inflating their prices. And they've always have done that. Any reason they can. Here in California, they got to do cleaning once a year of the tanks or whatever. So gas prices go up. Then they have to change the blend. Gas prices go up. So all these BS I think they light their shit on fire on purpose, because every few years there's a big fire at one of the plants and gas prices go up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is part of the game. They say that this is a supply and demand economy. So guess what? We're going to withhold supply. Oh, gee, prices are going up.
Dude, on the news, they say
racket.
Buy gas as soon as you can, as much as you can, because the price is only going to keep going up. And then you got Democrat liberals like George Takei from Star Trek fame talking about it's okay to sacrifice and pay whatever for gas because you're helping the good people of Ukraine.
Whatever.
It's like, dude, you're doing stuff for America and Ukraine, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, generate revenue or die.
Yeah, the propaganda on this Ukraine thing has got sicker since last week when I was bitching about it. It's insane, dude.
Well, it's like everything else. How can we turn this to what we make money on? And I mean, this war is being used by big oil to try and erase everything that's happened in the last 10 years. And they got a pretty good chance of doing it, believe it or not. But, I mean, I'm not going to be here in 2050. So, if this is the choices that everybody's allowing to be made, I hope you all have fun living on this planet in 2050, because it ain't going to be nothing like it is right now.
2050 is the future, Glenn.
Yeah, it's a fucking pretty shitty future.
They're going to have androids and cloning and all kinds of crazy stuff, reanimation. So you'll be here.
No, I won't.
Be flying cars. Yeah, it's the future. That's how the future is.
No.
Be robots driving the cars.
I'll decline. Thanks. I'm good.
You could even be a cyborg, like part machine, part human.
No.
And your best friend could be an android and a human, and you can write a story about it.
Yeah, they can have all this automated shit on the barren, acrid surface, and there'll be millions of people living underground.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But we had a really good decade there after the war for oil and gas. So ridiculous. I mean, where I am, the war breaks out, Russia invades Ukraine, and pretty much the first statement out of the mouth of the elected cult leader in this province is that, weakness gets taken over by Canadian oil and gas. That's pretty much what he had to say. So, I mean, what a waste of time. And, and then that also bleeds to something people are seeing on Twitter today, which is called auto blocking. Awesome. A lovely new feature. It's another escape hatch for the blue check marks to be pieces of shit and get away with it.
Wow. I was talking in the middle there, but I was muted.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
I was asking you what it was, and then you went on and kind of explained it a little, so that was cool. It worked out, even though you didn't hear me. Yeah. Did you see the latest outrage? Well, maybe not the latest, but in the last couple of days, the people in Russia are protesting the war. And oh my God, have you seen how these police are treating their protesters?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a BLM rally.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen, are they gassing people and shooting them? I've just seen them beating people and dragging them out.
Well, I mean, for the most part, that seems to be good enough. I mean, I don't think they let anything get to the point where they would need like water cannon and stuff. They just don't even let it get that big.
Those police don't even look like the riot police here. They don't look like a military with all those pads and
no.
Like one or two of them got helmets and shields, and most of them are just like in cop outfits.
Yep.
Russian pig wear. But yeah, man, everyone's like, how brutal is this? Look how Putin treats his protesters. I'm like, have you seen how they treat people here? Man, I've had my ribs broken getting beaten with a baton. What are they talking about?
Exactly.
I've been shot with rubber bullets that hurt, leave big welts on me. I've been choked out on damn gas. And
some of these people
burning like what?
Some of these people should look at the footage from Dakotas 5 years ago.
Yeah, they were water canning those people in like freezing temperatures.
Yeah,
those cops were brutal. They were letting dogs attack people. Yeah, that was brutal.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this whole thing about which side of the political spectrum whatever country is, it doesn't matter. It's gotten to the point now where policing to protect the power of the state is starting to look the same everywhere. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at the cops in France. They don't fuck around at all. I mean, it's just like when they finally sent all the cops to Ottawa to break up the idiot convoy, they had to tell the cops from Quebec that, okay, this isn't like a normal gig for you guys, okay? You're going to have to settle it down. But the thing is, in the province of Quebec, they protest 10 times more than any other province in Canada. And they know what they're going to get from their cops. And they're okay with it. Because that's how they play there. So just for people to just pretend that, oh my God, look at the cops in Russia, what a police state. Well, wake the fuck up is all I have to say to that.
Dude, it's like everything these people are like, Russia's so terrible. Putin's a horrible person. He's just like Hitler. Russia's the most evil place on earth. How dare them attack these white Christian wonderful people? This is, I mean, it's crazy, dude. These people don't care about nobody else on the planet. They don't even pay attention to what's going on. It's very similar in their own country. And they're just like, oh, let's demonize these people for doing what we've been doing forever. Because we're going to cheer it on when we do it. Because you know a lot of the Russians that aren't there protesting are cheering it on.
And there's also a lot who aren't.
Nationalists. I'm sorry, go ahead, what?
And there are always a lot who aren't. I mean, this is the problem when everybody has a fucking video camera in their back pocket as well.
Yeah.
Things can be made to be what they're not. It's so obvious now. Everybody should understand that. I mean, it's just like this Ghost of Kiev bullshit. I mean, as soon as it started, I mean, you know,
An urban legend in the making.
Well, yeah, I mean, for most of my life, I've followed military aircraft, and I know a lot about military aircraft. And just as soon as that story came out, the reality is that guy would have had to land it twice and gotten back up to kill that many planes in one day, because no plane that the Ukrainians have carries that much jam to down that many planes in one go. It's impossible. But, you know, nobody wants to talk about that.
Have you ever heard of Rambo? That's airplane Rambo.
Well, unless he's got some inflatable missiles on him, I don't see how it's you know, it's ridiculous.
Stuff you've never even, man, he's got lasers. Don't even worry. He's got it covered. He's the ghost. The ghostest with the mostest. It's totally real.
And it makes total sense that when you find out where it actually came from is a goddamn simulator. Like, that is just so appropriate. What else could it be?
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much propaganda going out there. They're making all that, like that little girl now that sang some Lion King song or some Disney song.
Mm-hmm.
That's all over. It's big. But here's the thing, man. Imagine if they sanctioned everybody like they're sanctioning Russia for war crimes. I mean, we wouldn't be, everybody here would be houseless because there'd be civil war or a revolution or something. Nobody able to use their own, their cards or their money. No goods are getting shipped in. Like these sanctions are hurting the poorest people.
They always do.
And the goal, I think, is to kick off a revolution or an uprising, right? Like, that's the whole goal behind it, because it's not going to hurt the big people, not for a long while anyway.
Well, still, the powers that be want this to come to an end as soon as possible, because there have been a couple of pretty good stories that have come out just the last week about how much unaccountable Russian money is tied up in the city of London. In the last decade, there has been over £1 billion that came from Russia that bought real estate in London, Westminster. And this is these are the most expensive neighborhoods in the world. And like we said already today, it's a speculative market. What's your place worth? What's your place worth? What's somebody willing to pay?
Don't they own tons of properties over here as well? I'm sure they do.
They do, but not the concentration that they do there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of that.
And London is acknowledged as the money laundering capital of the world, so they're going to show the first cracks about how this is going to change things at the top. But, the other thing, too, wait till Russia starts turning off gas pipelines.
Yeah.
This is going to cause a whole nother problem. And I mean, that's why they're trying to go maximum pressure immediately
But my
because
point
they
is, they
because
shut
they
off. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say they know if Russia can adapt in like 3 weeks and then they start reacting to it.
Yeah.
Nobody told the people in Europe that are so gung ho for all this about that part. So, you know, and now you're
They
muted. There
yeah
you
they
go.
shut off all the credit cards like Visa and Mastercard and all these financial services and online services in Russia are getting shut off. Dude,
But
that's
from what
hurting
I
people.
understand,
That's hurting
from
people
what
going to get food.
no, from what I understand, if you have a card issued in Russia, it will still work in Russia. That's what I'm understanding. So there's been a little bit of an inflation on that.
I hope so, man, because you can't just hurt the people like that.
Well, the issue is anybody who's out of the country, who's staying at a hotel, who thinks they're going to be able to fly home, they're fucked.
Oh,
They're fucked. How are they even going to pay for their hotel
why?
if they're using a Visa or a MasterCard with a billing address in Russia? They're fucked.
Why haven't they done this to the Saudis or the Turks or Israelis or or United States?
Well, that's the other thing I find amazing that they're tripping over themselves to avoid. Look how quickly shit can get done when they want to get shit done. It's that easy. And yeah, exactly. Why hasn't it happened? Over Yemen, over Palestine, over Libya.
You know what we need to do? We need to hire makeup artists to go and do that white face on everybody, and then film videos of the U.S. and Turks and Israel and all them attacking the white blonde people, and it'll be over with. The outrage will go crazy. It's the only solution, Glenn. These people are racist.
Yeah,
Look, did you see the videos coming out of Ukraine where there's like non-white people, Africans, other people trying to get on the trains and buses
Yep,
and getting pushed off and getting the thing pulled up and blocked out
yep,
just so more light white people could get on?
yep.
Dude, that's terrible.
No, the thing is,
That's when you're from the United States, that's where our stimulus money, that's where all our housing is going. That's where all these programs, that's where our medical care and student loan debt is all going to Ukraine. And then to our police and military. It's disgusting.
the thing is too, just about, it would have to be like 98% of people of African descent that you see in Ukraine. They're students or they're there on a job contract. They're not even Ukrainian citizens. And they're being prevented from leaving Ukraine. Like, what in the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I guarantee you before this Russia thing, the people was like, why don't you go back where you're from and leave Ukraine? Now they're like, no, we want to be out of Ukraine first. You stay here.
Yep.
My, how the tables turn.
Yeah. First, we were seeing in the cities where they were being prevented from boarding trains to evacuate. Then 3-4 days later, you see actual border crossings where they got there on their own and they're still not being let across. It's ridiculous.
This whole thing is ridiculous, man. It's like surreal. All these people cheering for war. You're in the United States. Your country is doing horrible shit. Why are you worried about a horrible shit another country's doing? Just because the people are white. Worry about your own mess first. Stop all the evils your government's doing before you worry about what the evils the other governments are doing, or at least your government and its allies. You got enough war crimes and human rights abuses to for your whole life with just United States and its allies. You don't have to get to Russia yet. Worry about Russia when you stay there. I don't get it. How the hell can you tell somebody, oh, like I'm going up and down the block beating people up, and then some other guy goes up and down another block beating people up, and I'm like, hey, you can't do that. That's terrible. You're a horrible person for doing that.
Only we can beat those people up. Beat it.
Yeah. When I do it, it's for God and you know, whatever.
The dollar.
Country. It's for the dollar. Yeah, when you do it, it's for evil reasons.
Yeah.
You just want money. It's for greed. I do it for the dollar. You do it for the greed. Yeah, I just don't know where there's a moral high ground for all these people to be on, but they seem to be on it.
Well, I mean, you know, whether you want to say it or not, you have to look at all the factors involved. And there's one factor that is quite obvious what the difference is.
But like, I don't want to see anybody suffer. I don't want to see war anywhere. But let's worry about the people that's locked in concentration camps here, the people getting murdered all over the world because of this country and its allies that it backs and funds. You know, let's worry about poverty. You start here. You say, oh, look what we've done. Now everyone should do it like us. If you can't do that, then you're just scum. You're just trying to impose a morality on other places that you don't even live by. Do as I say, not as I do, right? I think you said that last week.
Well, that's the white Christian way.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. And when you tell the Democrats anything, they're like, but Trump did such and such, but Trump did this.
Well, I mean, that's just, you know, whatever.
We can list all the things they were complaining about that Trump did that Biden is doing or kept going. I mean, if that's what they want to do, it's just such a joke. But Trump, everything that happened is Trump's fault. And they were just complaining a couple years ago, like, why does Trump blame Obama for everything? Now Biden's just blaming Trump for everything. I know traditionally that's how it worked, but they did it bigly.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, this is the mandated environment of the United States. It's always about which team did the same fucking thing. There is no organized force against the game, only against the teams. That's what the problem is.
These people want to keep voting. They're going to vote it away eventually. Another couple 100 years it'll work out. Just got to keep
not
voting
even
right.
At this rate.
I'm telling
not
you
even
what they think. I see cars all the time. They say, vote like your life depends. Vote like your freedom depends on it. Vote like you've never voted before. Vote blue no matter who. And they got Biden or Black Lives Matter. How are you going to vote for Biden and think Black Lives Matter? I mean, for real. Look at his past history. I put out a tweet to him. I'll probably get kicked off for 7 days if he has that new Twitter service. But, yeah, I was like, is this you holding hands with a Klan member? Is this you cheering on the Clinton crime bill you helped author?
You know how this happens? This happens the exact same way. You get a bunch of cement heads who say they want border vaccine mandates revoked, but then they also want to ban abortion. They also want to ban gay marriage. That's how. It's the exact same thing. It's just on the other side.
Yeah. yeah, like the Republicans are screaming, Biden's racist. And I'd be like, you're correct. Because he said he's going to have a black woman on the Supreme Court. And I'm like, that's the reason you say he's racist? You have so many better reasons, but you're going to pick that? That probably means you're racist. Now, let me explain. A black woman on the Supreme Court doesn't mean shit. There's a black dude on the Supreme Court now.
And he's one of the biggest assholes there.
If you're going to be on the Supreme Court, you're going to be a fascist already. They wouldn't let you on if you're not a fascist.
Exactly.
Look at that RBG, what's her name? Ruth
Bader Ginsburg?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Red, black, and green or something. But yeah, she was a horrible person. She just did some things for white women's rights, and they're like, yes. Look what she did for Native people.
Well,
so,
this is
if you're on the Supreme Court, you're shit. If you're willing to take that, you're a horrible. They should abolish this. The Supreme Court's terrible.
Well, I mean, it's become political, and political is just a synonym for shitty. So,
but you got these people that just go with whatever their beliefs are, whatever their party's beliefs are, and then they be like, "Oh, I'm not putting my personal." They twist the law. They twist meanings of everything. They'll change everything just to make it fit their interpretation, you know?
But these people keep a scorecard for a game that really doesn't matter. But it's the only thing they follow, you know?
Yeah. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. This whole thing's a joke.
Well, you know, I don't know, man. There's like 3 or 4 memorable sentences from like the last 50 years that just seem to be getting more correct all the time. And, you know, it's people like Marshall McLuhan, and it's people like Bill Casey, the former director of the CIA. It's just like, wow, these guys really do play the long game.
Yeah. Man, they oh, I was just going to bring up before I forget, have you heard what the LAPD is supposedly going to have to do now when they pull people over?
No.
They're going to have to explain on camera before they start searching or whatever why they're making the stop.
Oh, yeah.
And the police chief Moore was talking about it. He goes, yeah, they guess no matter, he said they have to say on camera why they're making the stop. And then he says something like, no matter how briefly it is.
So have they approved the script that every one of them will say?
But see, all they got to do is turn on their camera and say, oh, I thought I saw a weapon in their hand. And then it'll be like, oh, it was a phone, the way he was holding it or something. Mm-hmm. It's going to be some garbage, dude. I just know. I mean, I guess it's better than them not having to do that at all so they can get away with this all day. Maybe you'll make a couple of them think before just pulling a car over because there's a couple black cats in it. But ultimately, they're still going to terrorize people. And you got the other side of people saying, oh, my God, that's going to make the police stop stopping crime. How are they going to, they're just going to let everything go. And
I think all it's going to do is put another level of delay and cost in a bunch of complaints and court cases. That's why it's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's not going to do everything that people think it is. They're going to find ways around it.
I don't think it's going to help at all. I think it's going to slow everything down to a crawl.
Well, I do hope it makes some of them think before stopping people, and maybe some people won't be harassed. I mean, if it just helps a few people, it's better than nothing, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's true. I do see that side, but I don't think the LAPD does anything to benefit the people they serve. They do it because it's advantageous for them. So that's the secret. What is the advantage with them doing this now? And it's got to have something to do with legal. That's it. It's not like they're suddenly not going to stop being fascists. They just think they have something they can do as routine, and it's going to help them defend themselves.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know. If they're just turning on their camera and like, this happened, I saw him push somebody or something, or I saw him hide something in his pocket, or you know what I mean? Did something suspicious, so I had to stop and detain them. I've seen cops pull people over because their cars got cameras, so they aim their car diagonal, so it's not aiming at the people. They're terrible, man. They know how to get around these things.
Yeah.
People got mad at me because some reporter on Twitter, journalist, whatever she is, talking head on some local news station, was cheering on that the police, LAPD, caught these two arch criminals who stole $6,000 worth of women's leggings from some store over a certain amount of time, and handbags or something. So I tried to remind her that that's petty when, you know, the Highway Patrol stole $250,000 from the taxpayers in an overtime fraud scandal, and the LAPD had this dude named Archie Dunas or something, and he was a manager of their gun store, you know, the LAPD gun store.
Arsenal-like thing?
Yeah, and he was stealing guns out of it. What happened was he never took a vacation. And then they were like, dude, you got to take a vacation for some clerical crap, you know what I mean? For bookkeeping or whatever. So he took a vacation, and the person that filled in for him for the 2 weeks or a month he was off realized all the records were sketchy, and a lot of the boxes were missing guns. Like, I think it was over 40 or 50. And you know who his customers were?
Cops.
Yeah, knowingly. They knowingly bought these illegal guns, stolen guns. So you're going to tell me these cats don't have illegal guns and ghost guns, and they'll buy any guns. They probably, man, cops steal guns from people on the streets and don't report them.
Yep.
Like, they got so many illegal guns, these cops. They need to go check some of these cats out. They love guns, man. And, you know, the other cops know they got them, and they don't say nothing.
Yep.
That's like, imagine if somebody like me or somebody else had all these illegal guns like that. They'd have pictures of it all up on there. We recovered these from such and such, you know what I mean? Cops all standing around it, all laid out on the floor.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny that this guy, you know, wouldn't take a vacation for 15 years, and then he gets audited, and he's fucked.
Yeah, that's why he didn't take a vacation, because he was running a tight, crooked ship.
So how much extra money do you think this guy was making, too?
I don't know.
You know,
I'm sure he probably had parts and everything else. They got, you know, he was probably moving them, and he probably had other stuff. I don't know.
But the thing is, you know, I mean, cops could come in to enter stuff as evidence. And I mean, you know, if they knew what was going on, they could say, yeah, this is a pretty nice piece, man. Yeah, I wish I had one of these. And, you know, few weeks, you do.
Oh, and you can, and you will.
Yeah, give me a call.
Yeah, his name was Arch, like arch criminal. Yeah, this is what they want to put more funding into. I'm wondering where William Dorsey Jones Jr. is, the cop that murdered that little girl while trying to murder an unarmed man in a crowded shopping store clothing store. They don't talk about him. It was Black History Month. They're putting all these black cops up. They didn't have his picture on there.
Yeah.
Now
Bad
they're doing women
token.
for Women History Month. All that says is black people and women could be just as fascist as white men. It's not giving the signal they think it is.
But still.
Every gender and race can be stupid and follow orders. I guess it does show equality, right?
No, what it shows is marketing.
Yeah.
Because who actually is the guarantee that these police forces keep getting more money without fail? It is the white liberals. So they just keep telling the white liberals that, you know, see, we like black people. We like women.
They elected Villanueva, who is
there
now
you go.
going on a promotional tour on television attacking anyone who's critical of him.
Does he think he's Arpaio now or what?
Yeah, he's attacked People City Council and that lady Cerise Castell or whatever her name is. Like, he's a terrible person. He's a Democrat. Now he's embracing the Republicans, but like, there's no real difference.
He's a Villanueva. That's what he is.
If their party's in power, they both want the same thing. So there's really no difference. It's just the rhetoric behind it. The Democrats don't have that brutal, blatant racism stuff. They do it more in a subtle way.
Yeah, it's not as in your face.
Yeah.
You know, this kind of sounds like the Wild West, you know, when everybody knew that the sheriff was the most crooked guy in town, you know, and he had side deals with everybody. Nothing happened he didn't know about. I mean, how is this so different? And the sheriff would always get his spot in the paper back then. You know, this is the same bullshit. And this is basically 200 years later.
Did you see his idiot ass with a cowboy hat on?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting them for all his deputies.
Oh,
Speaking of Wild West, that's what made me think of that. And then somebody photoshopped it where it was really giant. Did you see that one?
No.
They made it really big. It looked like the Big Hat Gang from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Remember, there was little people in the hat, and they had the guns. And the hat would open up and they shoot. Oh my God.
And I mean, where is there any historical relevance of police in California having Stetsons? Like, where? When? I mean, that's just stupid. They're not fucking Texas Rangers. Like, what's the deal?
They think they're cowboys. Shoot 'em up, yeah, whatever that is.
Well, there's way better California role models than a cowboy for that.
Oh, man.
But no, it reinforces who's in charge, you know?
Both LAPD and LASD blatantly attack and arrest and do horrible things to their critics. I mean, when Villanueva puts these people's names out publicly,
yep,
that's endangering their lives. Somebody put his address out. He's a public official, and he had to run home to check on his wife to make sure she's okay. Someone endangered her life. Come on, man. He's a public official. He's a public person. So didn't he put up a helicopter pad so he can get away?
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And Michael Moore, he attacks people. His LAPD has arrested quite a few people who are critical of them. A few of them, a few times, like Fischel, Singh, and William. Film the Police LA. They have a whole agenda against these people. I mean, that should not be allowed. Where are these politicians stepping up to stop it? They don't care. They're just going to give the police more money.
And that's exactly what I meant, you know?
Yeah, they got people paying police to monitor social medias of people who are critical of the police. Like, come on, man. How is that keeping the community safe? It's not.
No, but it's an excellent marketing campaign to run counterintelligence and subversion under the excuse of trying to stay on top of it. That's exactly what that is. And again, who nods their head and rubber stamps it every year? The white liberals.
I gave up, man. Like, I really did with that. It's like crazy. It's like I watch William report, and it sustains this or not. It's just whatever. You know what I mean? They just put it through, and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
I was gonna go through all my footage, man, and then he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter if they don't identify themselves. We're not gonna do anything. It's not a disciplinary action if they don't wear their masks." Like, there's no discipline for anything. They can do whatever they want. They don't have to follow any rules, any regulations, or any laws. They can drive cars with super dark illegal tints and no license plates. The same things they pull people over for. So it's just like, I'm just going to keep the cameras on them every time I see them. Tell them how much I hate them. Try to ruin their day a little bit, and then make sure they know they're being filmed to keep the people safe. I'm not even going to complain with them about that. If I don't get their names or numbers, whatever, I don't even care anymore, because there's no repercussions for anything they do. But I'm still going to keep the cameras on their ass. I just haven't released a lot of stuff. I got more videos. I'm just lazy. I haven't released them. I mean, I got a t-shirt store open and I don't even promote that. People are like, how come we don't ever see new stuff or ads or anything? I'm like, because I'm lazy and I'm working and I'm tired. Well, how do you expect to make money? I don't know. I'm not a business person. Maybe one day I'll get around to it. Yeah, it's I'm bad at doing stuff like that, man. But it's depressing, and like what William does, he gets a lot of stuff done in Hollywood where he's at, and they change things around because they just don't want to deal with him. And that's great. But when it comes down to it, no matter what they do, even the ones who arrest him and do whatever, nothing's going to happen to him. Even if he gets a lawsuit, they'll still be cops. This cat murdered a little girl, and he's still somewhere getting paid by our tax dollars. It's stupid to try to report them. That's what I've come to that conclusion.
Well,
like,
I mean,
if they do something horrifying or whatever, or I could give the people, that's my other thing. What I'll do is I'll give the people my information and be like, if you want the video, hit me up. A couple people have for court or whatever, especially when the police pull them over out of their jurisdiction and lie about the street they're on.
Oh, yeah.
And they got a video of it. A lot of time when them cops see me, they stop doing that. They'll just let them go. Have a nice night. Because I'll tell the people, I got you can get out this ticket very easily. It's not right. We got it on video. They lied that they were a few blocks down so they could give you a ticket here. Yeah. And I guess it's got them off or whatever a couple times. So stuff like that's good.
Yeah.
Or when they slammed that lady into the ground, if she could sue or something, that would have helped her.
Well, I mean, this is just something that's been allowed to happen over time, especially in a force like LAPD. and it's top down. If there was a price to be paid, they wouldn't be doing this kind of shit nonstop. So they know they can get away with it. The only people who really don't seem to understand that is the public.
Yeah, I'm just done. I was going through all this stuff trying to put it together to report them. I mean, the homie said, yeah, it's better to have a bunch of things on their file, even if they're, not going to get in trouble for it. But I don't know. That just doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not knocking anything. I think what them cats is doing is awesome and great. And, I just do my little part. Whatever I do, they doing it. They doing it big, big, big. And they're paying the price for it.
Yeah. No, I understand what they're saying too. I mean, even if it's not a disciplinary offense, it's still something on the record. And sooner or later, if there's a shitload of them, it's going to say something at probably the wrong time as far as the cop's concerned. So, yeah. I mean, it's not completely useless, but it's a long game.
Yeah. I mean, I know the way I appear on here is that I have it all together and I'm super focused and, and organized, but in real life I'm kind of just chaotic and all over the place. So it's just, even just gathering everything after a year or all this time is just like, it drives me crazy. It's just like, especially doing it and nothing's going to come of it. That's the part. If I thought I can get some of these cats written up or fired, I'd be on it. Because there's cats definitely I feel that should have been written up or fired.
But again, that goes back to what I said. They know.
Yeah.
They ain't going to get fired. That's, again, that's the real problem.
Plus, I need hard drive space. I'm going to start deleting stuff after 2 or 3 years old. I deleted a lot of old videos. I even deleted all those anonymous marches and stuff. Because I was pretty pissed off with that whole thing. As a lot of people may already know. But yeah, and I just needed hard drive space. So I deleted a crap load of police videos from 5 or 6 years ago. There was Nazi rallies and stuff. 7, 8 years ago even. Whenever I started videotaping everything. But yeah, I need to just go through and keep dumping. I don't have any reason to keep all this stuff. It's on, some of them are on YouTube if people want to see them. And I'll probably try to put more up there before I delete them, but.
Well, yeah. Make Google fucking put them on a server.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then on Instagram, I was going live, but they started deleting my videos saying it was targeted harassment and bullying against police. My videos of me filming them, talking crap.
Bullying the police.
And that's what I thought. I'm like, I didn't have the gun in this situation. I was outnumbered. How am I bullying? That's like, that's like me walking up into a neighborhood with some enemy gang and start talking crap and getting in their faces and then be like, see, you were bullying those dudes.
It's like you're Terminator or something.
Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole.
I think people report them is what happens.
Yeah, no shit, eh? Who's the snowflake? The one with all the armor.
Pop up. On Instagram, it's weird. They'll leave a comment, and I'll try to load it, and I could see it when it first is there, a part of it. And when I try to load it, it's been deleted. I don't know why they do that. Maybe they comment and report.
Yeah, it's so they can report and then prove they have interaction.
Man.
Yeah, and as soon as a report goes through, that's all that matters. There's a hash for their reply. And even if they delete it, Instagram still got it.
Yeah, Instagram just got people trolling the DMs like, do you want to buy illegal guns and crack and speed and pills? And I thought it was just me. I thought they were trying to target me. Like the police are like trying to fool me. But no, I seen other cats got it too. People I know. It's just like everyone knows it's like some either scammers or police. Because I heard about some stories where people were selling like fun switches on Instagram to the DMs, and people would send them money somewhere like Arizona or whatever, and no fun switch would ever come. Yeah, that was crazy. So it's just scamming people out of money. Like they send you a few $100 and you don't send them anything. You just keep the money. So yeah, I'm sure some of them could be
good work if you can get it.
And these cats got all kinds of crazy guns up on there. If I worked for LAPD, I'd be buying them up. It's probably some cop's gun collection on some of them.
Who knows?
Like his illegal gun collection.
The other thing too is how many of these illegal guns that cops acquire, how many of them are already illegal when the cop gets them? So, I mean, what are you going to do? You going to complain that somebody stole your stolen gun?
Yeah, exactly.
You're fucked. And they know it. You know, it's in nobody's interest to make this stolen weapon public now. So,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cop might be like, oh, I want to take this and let you go. Take whatever you got on you.
Yeah. And remember,
next time.
That's right. That's right. Never mind what happens to the piece. Just remember that when I took it from you, it was hot. And you're walking. That's all you need to remember.
Yeah, cats get jacked by the police all the time. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's like old as dirt, that story, man. That's like nothing new.
Yeah.
Cats rob people for weed, for dope, for guns, for every money. You know, you rolling around with a bunch of money or weed or whatever, and you can't be, it's illegal, whatever you have, and they pull you over and search you, and that's just missing, and they let you go. You just like, man, I got robbed for a few thousand, but at least I'm out of here,
Yep. It's all relative.
Yeah.
And
it's happened more times than you can believe.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how come the cultural perception is like when you remember stuff like East Germany and Soviet Russia, it was like all the cops were like that. Every one of them. They're all trying to bribe people and steal shit. But yet you never hear it talked about over here. How come?
Because cops are the heroes here. They're like the soldiers of the cities. Literally.
Ordnungspolizei.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the cops get excited every time we have a war. They're like, oh, more weapons for us to use against the civilians here in the United States. And
the feds are making more recruits for us.
Yeah. for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Here's good. I don't know. Do we got anything else? I got a good way to end this.
No, I don't know.
The city of Orange County.
Yeah.
They call it the Florida of California. It's they want to put a graveyard there. Only for cops and firefighters, called the First Responders Graveyard. And evidently some veteran groups got real pissed off, like, no, you're not honoring veterans too? Like, well, yeah, the veterans are cool, but this is just for them. The veterans have their own veteran graveyard. But this all started after that pig died in a helicopter crash a few weeks back. And I got kicked off Twitter for a few days for celebrating. celebratory tweets. Yeah, but I'm actually for that. I think nobody, even in death, wants to be next door to a cop. So let them have their own little thing where they're away from the other people, the good people. You could be like knowing a swine cemetery or something.
Well, it's really the same shit has been going on for centuries. Now it's just over a different reason. So whatever.
Yeah, I don't want cops around me, even, dead cops. If I'm dead, then we're equal. I mean, dead cops now, I don't care. They might have a grave, I might have to urinate. You never know what's going to happen.
There's always factors.
Spaces maybe. Did you just type that?
Yeah.
What does that mean, Glenn?
That means exactly what it says.
Spaces maybe.
Well, look at what I said before that.
Oh, is this the final episode on Spreaker? Spaces maybe? Oh, now it makes sense. I didn't put it with the other tweet. I just saw it as itself. Yeah, let's hopefully next week, if I get a chance to test this out beforehand, let's try it. And if it works out, I'll just cancel my Spreaker subscription. Because why pay for something that doesn't work when Twitter could probably not work just as well?
Well, I will say that if you're going to run Spaces, there's no more denying updates for the Twitter app.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I was on the usual last night, and my phone froze twice in 2 hours.
Because you didn't update the app, or just because that's what it does?
Well, that's just what it does. I don't know if my phone was getting too warm or what, but it would just freeze.
I was on 2 of those a while back. But it just was like, I used my headphones, and I just, like my regular headphones I use to listen to music on my phone. And then I just talked through those, and then I had to push to request to be a speaker, I guess.
Yep.
They invite you, then you request to be a speaker, then you go into the speaker area, and then the other people talk, and then you can just like we are right here. I don't know why I'm explaining it like talking to someone on the phone is something weird.
No, but the difference is once you're granted speaker, the app reloads. And more times than not, you're going to hear a difference in the audio.
So yeah, I guess we're going to try it next week, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Go ahead. What were you saying?
And then if you're host or co-host, again, because you have different permissions, you get a different specific stream. It's more complex than you think. But for the most part, it works pretty good.
Well, maybe one night this week before it's over, I'll take some shrooms and see how I can get this thing to work.
That'll help for sure. Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's so easy. A child can do it. I think I could do it shroomed out a little bit.
And the one good thing I've seen on Spaces so far is it doesn't matter what everybody's using, as long as they're not speaking into the microphone on their phone, as long as they have some sort of earpods or whatever, everybody's level is the same. Nobody's too loud.
Yeah, but I mean, we can also look through the audience there and say, hey, do you have something to say, and let them on? Like, we're here. You have to be like, oh, hook up on Spreaker, and then I have to wire you in, then I got to get you a channeled, and then I got to restart the app. Yeah, like you have to kind of be here at the beginning.
Yeah.
Or everybody gets hung up on to get you back. I know that we both know that from experience. So anyway, so there's
the pool is
stuff.
closed.
So yeah, hopefully next week we'll be on Twitter at People's Radio with a 0 at the end instead of a O. Follow us over there too. And that's that, I guess. Anything else, Glenn?
No.
No. Cool. So yeah, next week most likely will be on the Twitter Spaces. So hopefully it's bye-bye Spreaker. Speaking of bye-bye Spreaker, bye-bye Spreaker.